Hello everybody, it's Amanda from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Happy Monday, hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Today I'm going to make a set of 5 cards showcasing this beautiful paper, and it's called Graceful Glass. And if you can see, you can just see my hand through there, it is vellum and it's pre-printed and it's absolutely beautiful, and you can colour it. It's 6 by 6, you get lots and lots of lovely designs, and the creations that you can make are stunning. It goes a long way because you can cut these in pieces, and yeah, beautiful. Now I've used water-based pens on these, and I have used these, which are the new in colours. So these are water-based markers, so you don't have to use the alcohol markers, just leave it that little bit longer to dry. And I'll show you what I came up with. And I made, let me just grab them here, just 5 little note cards which showcase the paper and also showcase those lovely new in colours. So let's see if we can remember the names. We've got Blueberry Bushel, we've got Grapefruit Grove, we've got Pineapple Punch, Lovely Lipstick, and Call Me Clover. So these are just little note cards that I've made, and obviously, you know, you've got your little stained glass window effect. I've just coloured slightly with the pens, and I've coloured on the reverse. And then, if you can see, I have added just some little sparkles, and this is the lovely in colour ribbon. Just to finish it off, so I'm going to show you quickly how I've made these, and then excuse me, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday I'm going to make you a little box to put them in. I love sharing the new in colours. This is the lovely stamp set that goes with the DSP, but we're not actually going to do any stamping. I'm keeping it really simple. We're just using the DSP and the markers. So I've got some thick Whisper White here. You do need thick cardstock. Because you're cutting a large panel away, you are going to have a very flimsy card if you don't use, you know, substantial cardstock. So this is 6 inches by 3, folded at 3 to make a little lovely 3 by 3 card. And what I've used to cut out my my square is the largest square shape from the stitched edge framelets, which are these, with all the different shapes in with the stitch edge. If you don't have that, I'm sure you would have a similar square die in your collection. And this die actually measures 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, so it's going to leave us a really small little border, as you can see there. So I'll show you how I did it. I'm going to bring my big shot in. We might wobble, so I am sorry, but I want to show you exactly how I managed to cut that window out. Although, you know, I'm sure you're not, it's not rocket science, but somebody might not have done it before. So I've got my big shot, and I'm using the appropriate platforms for my model, and I'm going to put my card on there. So I'm wanting a hole cut out of this one, like so. So I'm going to get my shape, and I'm going to line it up. Am I on camera? Shall we zoom out a little bit? Out? No. Right, so I'm lining it up really carefully and really taking time over it, so that I've got a nice equal border all the way around. And then I have some washi tape and I save it here, and it's always there. And I'm just going to attach it there, and I have another piece, and I'm going to attach it at the other side as well, just to double check that that die doesn't move. I do have a magnetic platform, but it sometimes can jump, so to be doubly safe, bit of washi tape. Put my top plate on. Don't look at my plates, they're mashed. That's a technical term for wrecked. I need some new ones. I'm a little bit stingy when it comes to buying plates for my big shot, and I don't know why, because obviously, you know, I get discount and I can get them. It's just one of them things, isn't it? You know. So sorry if the camera's wobbling. In my new craft room, my desk is nice and secure, but even with the desk nicely weighted down now, so it doesn't move, when I use my big shot, it does still. It wobbles. So I'm gently peeling that washi tape off now, and I'm going to save it there because I can reuse it. it stays sticky forever. This is a Stampin' Up washi tape, and it stays sticky forever and ever and ever. Right, so then I can just very gently remove that, and you can see that I've got my card with a little window. Now we've got this square, we're going to push that out and we're going to put it to one side because we're going to use it later in the week for another project, because you need 5 of these, 1 for each of the ink colours. So then you'll be left with 5 of these pre-cut, ready to go, and we'll use them on another project. I'm going to move this out of the way now. Just pop it on the floor there. Get my mat straight, and I might just zoom back in a bit. Zoom in, no in. Oh, I always get it the wrong way around. Right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to really carefully, because this is quite delicate now, this is a delicate card, but because I've used a thick Whisper White, you know, it won't tear or anything, you've just got to be super careful. And I'm going to really firmly crease that fold, okay? So then what I've used are these panels here, and I've just trimmed them out. We know that we want roughly 3 by 3, so you can measure it if you want. I'm going to do it by eye, and I'm just cutting myself a panel. Now vellum, you've got to be careful when you're gluing it, because you don't want to get it all over the vellum. If you have a very skinny tear tape or red line tape, use that. I don't have any, so I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use wet glue, and I'm going to show you how I do it, because I use a brush. I've just got something stuck on mine. Hold on a minute while I just sort my brush out. There we go. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to colour it, and I'm using lovely lipstick. And I'm just going to pull out just a little bit. I'm not going to colour the whole thing. I'm just going to pull out segments, but you can colour it all. You know, you can colour all of these little parts in different colours and make it look like a proper... when I see this paper, I think of Art Deco, you know, 1930s to 50s, the window panels. I once had at one of my first homes had this in the door, and it was original. And I also think of like the Art Nouveau, or you know, church glass. I think of York Minster. So there you go. So what you want to do is you want to colour on the back. Now you can tell which is the front and which is the back, because the back looks cloudier, and the black print on the front is darker than it is on the back. Okay, it's just better to colour on the back, because if you go a little bit out of the lines, you know, it's a little bit more forgiving. So lovely lipstick. So let me remember which bits I coloured. So I had that as like the top, and what I did was I just picked out little sections, and just take your time. There's no rush, you know, unless it's somebody's birthday and you've forgotten to make them a card and you're colouring it in, or, you know, in the car on the way there. Not that I've ever done that, but, you know, I have made them as I'm putting my coat on going out the door, because I've forgotten to make a card. Or I find that I've got no wrapping paper, so I'll quickly print some and stamp some of my own. I've done that loads. Right. So I'm just doing this really gently and really carefully. You don't want loads of ink on there, so you don't need to keep going backwards and forwards. Just kind of tickle the paper with the pen almost. Give it a tickle. And then I'm just doing that. This is, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful colour. And there are lots and lots of things on Pinterest that demonstrators have posted that show the, you know, that all the colours are different. You might think, similar to another colour that, but when you put them side by side, they are all different. Every single one is very, very much different, but they complement each other, which is the fab thing about Stampin' Up, because everything matches. Right, I can't fast forward my colouring. I've been really distracted the last 2 weeks with moving house, so I'm trying to get lots of videos out for you guys, because I've kind of neglected my creative element a little bit. So I need to get cracking this week. It just so happens it's also school holidays, which is awesome. So I've had a house move, I've had a leadership meeting, I've had a team meet, I've had school where I've got to go and try and get my daughter into the school that I want, an appeal, and then it's school holidays. So you know, I'm surprised I hadn't had a nervous breakdown this last fortnight, but I've kept it together. So I've put a blob of glue just here on my mat, and so I've coloured on the back, but I want the front part showing. So obviously I need to turn it over and I need to glue the edges of the front part to put it inside my card, okay? So with a very small brush, unless you're very good with the fine tip glue, because this one does have a really skinny tip, but I'm really heavy-handed with glue, and I know I will get it all over my vellum. So I'm using a paintbrush, and I'm going to just hold that down in the centre, and I'm going to very gently just dab glue all the way around that edge. Now I haven't waited for my colouring to dry. I would give it, you know, a couple of minutes for it to dry so that it doesn't smudge. I'm just going to have to be super careful. Okay. So this isn't a 5-minute card. This will take you slightly longer, but how beautiful to have that see-through element. And you can take the same idea and you could join a few of these together and put these panels in and make a candle holder with, what do they call them, votives, with your little candle in, or a little, you can get very small lights now for cards, can't you? Little tiny battery operated cards and things like that. There's all sorts you can make. You could, if you were really clever, you could go for make a Tiffany style box or lamp. That would be really cool. Right, so I'm on the last side now, but I am taking care because I don't want glue on that on the vellum. It's as simple as that. So then I can get my piece here, and I'm going to just open my card, and then I'm going to very carefully, whilst holding it, put my finger through the hole in the centre of the thing there, and then I can line it up because it is a very skinny increment. You do have to take your time, make sure it's straight, and then just tap that down onto that glued edge there. And then what I do is I'll get my very elegant cloth, crafting cloth, which is an old tea towel. So elegant, honestly. And I just gently rub that. Also, you don't want to get glue on your coloured part because it's water based, you don't want it to run and smudge. Okay, so then gently turn it over and rub it, give it a rub from the other side, and what that will do is it will secure it, it will flatten it down and get rid of any wrinkles, and it will also get rid of any excess glue, so that then when you shut your card it doesn't just stick together in a big mess. Okay, and then I'm just going to come back in with my bone folder and just give that a little squeeze like so. Okay, could probably do with a bit more glue on there. I think I've been a bit light with that. But what I've also done is I have added some crystals because I just think a little bit of sparkle just lifts it, and I think it looks really pretty. So I'm using my basic rhinestones, and I have also pre-done a bow because I'm not doing bows today. I'm a woman on the edge, I can't do bows live on camera. So I've pre-made a small tiny bow that I'm going to use on my card, and for that I've used the new In Colour Skinny Ribbon, and this is obviously lovely lipstick, and it is, what does it measure? 1/8 of an inch. Now if you shop with me during June, I'm giving samples of all of the Stampin' Up ribbons. I've got them all here. You'll get a sample of each sent to you as a little thank you for shopping in June, as well as all the other bits and bobs that I send. You know, that's a little extra from me. So I'm just going to snip that to one side, to the right size, because we don't want it overly big. Okay, and then I'll add my rhinestones where I want them, and I'm just adding them on the circular parts, and that's going on there. I'm just using these up really because I have them hanging about and I don't use them, and I think if you don't use them up, sometimes the adhesive can go a bit dry and then they end up where they're not sticky. If you know, I mean, I've had these, I'm talking a long time, I don't mean a few weeks. I've had them months and months and months. They've moved house and all sorts. So I want to get them used up really and get myself a fresh pack. So I've used them on these. And I just think that it just adds a little something to what is very pretty, but you know, end of the day, it's a basic card, it's a simple card. And just by adding those jewels, we're just making it just a tad more special. So then I'm getting my paintbrush again. I'm going to dab it on my ribbon there. And then I'll just put it on the corner of my card, like so. And then get another little crystal, or you could use pearls. Pearls would look really nice. Or you could get the crystals and you could colour them if you wanted. I like them. I like them as they are. I've just added a little crystal to my bow there. And now you will need to wait for the bow to dry, so do be patient. Oops, mine's moving all over the place. That's because I've not been patient and waited for it to dry. Okay. And now my phone's going. Typical. Just typical. So there we go. And then you have yourself a full set, and you can have them that way or you can have them that way. So I do have a full set of these. All the measurements are over on my blog, and later in the week we will create a little box to put these in, so watch out for that. Go and give it a try, have fun, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.